Okay, YouTube. Today I'm doing my review on the Passport Escort 8500 X50 Black. And this is the red one. It costs $50 more than the blue one, but I figured that since the theme of my car, everything in here is red, I figured red would just go better with my car. And also, I liked red a little bit more. The red one is supposed to be slightly harder to read in the daylight. However, I don't have a problem with it. This camera does not do a good job of showing that. This makes it look kind of hard to read, but really this is perfectly clear, no matter what time of day it is, day or night. I'm not going to go through all the specs and stuff on this. I'm going to do a few general things. But other than that, I'm not really going to show you a whole bunch. This right here is the smart cord. And it plugs in right here. It just plugs into a normal cigarette lighter. And basically what it does is it automatically mutes this for you, so it doesn't keep screaming at you if there's a hit. It quiets it down for you. So it's less annoying from false alarms, and also even if there's a cop, it's not as loud and annoying. It alerts you and then it gets quiet, which is nice. Right down here I'm going to tell you a few things. There's a button right here. This says mute. You click it and the noise that it is making gets quiet. There's another light beside that green one, and basically if that turns on, that means that it's muting itself, or that you have clicked the mute button. And the green light just means it's plugged in and that the radar detector is powered up. Just to let you guys know, this cord can get annoying sometimes. As long as you have a place where the cord will not get in your way, for me, all I have to do is tuck it over here and put it on this side of the, I don't know what you want to call this, the control thing for the vent. And then that holds it over there and it keeps it out of the radio for me. So I still have all of this to mess with. And it goes up here, it plugs in on this side. It actually looks a lot like a Ethernet connector. Over here on this side is a volume control. And also this is power. So if you were to turn it all the way towards you, it turns off. Turning it away from you turns it up. Two buttons on the top that control mode, brightness, and all the other things that you'd end up inevitably changing. As my overall review for the product, I would say it is quite good. However, this is the 850 or 8500, and I kind of wish I would have bought I think it's the 9500. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but whichever one it is that doesn't, or that does have the GPS, because I live in a very built-up place, and I really only have this for highway. And also for speeding on roads that should be way faster, but instead they're at like 35. So it does get quite a few false alarms driving through just the normal city. Because I do live in such a built-up area, I'm always driving by automatic doors and everything else that sends out radars. But however, you do get used to the places that it goes off. I always know that when I'm driving through, for those of you who want to know where I live in Johns Creek, Georgia. Whenever I am driving through the main part right by my high school, I know just to ignore everything unless it's other than a K band. All the doors over there are K. For those of you who don't know, there's 5 different bands of radar. One of them happens to be K. The K bands I always ignore. Very, very few cops use K band, if any. I am yet to be shot by a cop using K band. So I pretty much ignore all the K and X bands. There are very few X band hits. Now the most important one, and the only one I have been hit by a cop, is the KA. I do believe it's the most powerful, or at least it's the one that I always get, I can see from far away with the radar detector. But other than the false alarms, which for those of you who live in an urban place with lots of Publixes and Krogers and Walmarts and just any place like a gas station that has an automatic door, if you're driving through a very built up area all the time, spend the extra money, get the one with GPS so that you can cancel all those out, ignore those, and then it only tells you the first time you get a hit or if it's a cop. So I really wish I would have done that, but it's okay, whatever. I've learned how to read this and also know the sounds so that now if I hear a K band, I pretty much ignore it. I don't completely, I look at it. If I'm in the middle of nowhere and I get a hit, I will brake hard. But like if I'm driving through an urban area and I get a K hit, completely ignore it. However, with the KA, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you two stories. I took a road trip to my grandparents' beach house to see them. And when I was driving through on some random highway in the middle of South Carolina, I don't know, the speed limit was 65 or 75. I was doing 89 or 90. I had been doing that with one or two other cars behind me. We had just been booking it down that highway. Hit 100 a few times, but you know, whatever. Went to the top of this hill, got a KA hit, so I let off the gas, and on my way down, the KA hit ended. Went back up the next hill. The KA came back at 2 bars. Went down and it ended. Came back up and it went up to 3. So I went ahead and slowed down to 75. And then when I went up the next hill and around a slight corner, there was a cop sitting there and he was shooting radar. So I avoided one ticket, which would have probably been a super speeder. I don't remember the speed limit, so I can't tell you, but it probably would have been a super speeder. I also slowed down everyone behind me, so no one got a ticket. Then the other time, I was driving around in the Johns Creek area, and there's this road, the speed limit's 45. It's 2-lane divided highway, and everyone does 60 on it. But I speed, so I was doing probably about 80. So I was going up this hill. It's a really long hill. It's probably about, I don't know, it's about half a mile down and then half a mile back up. So it's about a mile. And on my way down, I got a 2-bar KA hit, and it ended real quick. When I hit the bottom and started to come back up the hill, I got another KA hit. So I slowed down, and when I did, I went around another corner, and right where you would turn into a gas station, there was a cop shooting radar. So right there, I avoided another ticket. Those are the only 2 tickets that this has got me to avoid yet, but that's already $300 worth of tickets anyway, depending on how much they would have actually clocked me at. And I know both times there was a chance of it being a super speeder. If that happens, I lose a license, and there's a crap ton of money, and the insurance goes up. So that's already probably saved me $300 to $500 in tickets, and then insurance and other stuff. Probably about $1,000 in total. Sounds like a lot, I know, but that really probably is accurate. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you a final gist. If you just want something for highway, get it. Get it. It is great. 2 miles out, easily 2 miles out is when you can get a hit. That's what happened when I was on my way to the beach. I was about 2 miles away when I got my first KA hit from that cop. Now, if you're driving in an urban, really built up area, go ahead and go for the one with GPS so that you can cancel out those signals and completely ignore them. Because it does get somewhat annoying constantly hearing it go off, knowing it's going to go off, and just knowing that I have to ignore it. So, urban area, go ahead and spend the extra $100 or $150. If you're going to be doing a lot of highway driving, go ahead and get the cheaper one because it does the exact same thing, it just doesn't have GPS. And once again, the difference between this and the one with blue is nothing except for the screen. So that is my review. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give this an 8, and the one with GPS I'll give a 9.5 because it's not 100% perfect, but it's almost there. So thank you guys. Please subscribe. I'm going to do other videos of me driving and doing other stuff. Thank you.